Hi everyone, Greg James here from Greg James Fishing World. And what am I doing down here in the corner of my shed on a cold grey day with a pair of pliers and a bit of tube? Well, not those illegal things you might think. I'm actually going to show you a ripper little way of making your own salmon lures to catch even bass in the States and herring in the Northern Europe countries like the North Atlantic. So this is a homemade Greg James Fishing secret lure, and it won't be very secret for very long. What do you need? You need a bunch of hooks, fishing hooks of a standard size. You need some clear plastic tubing. In the old days, people used to use this tubing to run the kerosene from their drums to their fridges or their heaters. You need a trusty pair of pliers, and you're done. So, as I said, it won't be secret for very long. So in the corner of your shed on a cold day, grab your plastic, grab your pliers, cut a piece. It is so simple. It'd help if I was a bit stronger in the wrist too, but hey, you're in my age, it goes with life. So what you've got is a piece of plastic tubing around about 50mm or 5 centimetres long, maybe a little bit shorter than that. It's hollow. That's how it works. Simple. Your next trip is to cut a U-shaped piece out of one end and one end only of that piece of plastic tubing. Bend it back, so you can see there how I've cut that bit out, bent it back. Snip out that tongue, if you like, that little piece of plastic, and what you've got is basically a 50mm piece of plastic tubing with one end cut out of it. And you might say, Greg, what are you doing? Well, I've caught big fish on this lure, and I'm about to give away one of my master's secrets. So you grab the hook, make sure your hands aren't shaking, and then you feed, I guess you could say, the opposite end of the hook through the actual piece of plastic tubing. Pull it through carefully so you don't prick yourself on the finger, and so that hook nestles really neatly, almost tucked inside that piece of plastic tubing, and comes out the other end. And you're almost done. And believe it or not, I've caught fish, salmon that is, Australian salmon, over a metre long, up to 7 or 8 kilos, just using this method. And basically then you attach this end of your line, where my left hand is, to the hook line, to your main line. You can actually use this off a jetty, attached to a rod. You can use it at the back of your boat. So it's quite a simple lure to make. You can fish off the beach with it as well. And this little baby works a charm. One of the reasons it works is that the reaction of this end of the plastic tube really fizzes when it is dragged through the water, as I said, retrieving it from the jetty or even off the beach. How do I know this? I've watched it. I used to be a scuba diver years ago and hook a compressor diver, and I've sat in shallow water when someone went past with this and watched it fizz, and the fish can't resist it. So you've got enormous attractive qualities about this lure that will drag the attention of the fish to it. So it's a trolling lure. You'll also catch snook, pike, Australian salmon, herring. The smaller the fish, the smaller the hook. And does that hook ever bounce out of there? Yes, occasionally, but it resets itself as the motion of the boat runs along. So, voila, a simple little thing to spend on a cold wintry day. It works everywhere. I've tried it, I've tested it. A pair of pliers, a couple of hooks, a coffee, which I'll get in a minute, and a bit of this plastic tubing, and you've got something there that will work every time. Tight lines, and thanks for joining me.